All right, so what's going on with the real estate market up here in North Florida, in this Jacksonville metro area? Well, that's what I'm about to tell you. I do this show every week. That's right. This is the only show that I know of that's on YouTube that covers the market weekly up here, not monthly, but weekly. And I've been doing it since May of 2022. That's right. I bring you the real numbers in real estate. That's because I pull it right out of the MLS. Hey, I'm just a regular guy who happens to be a real estate agent up here in North Florida, and I take you into the back end of my MLS account, and that's where we pull out all these real numbers. I take it and it goes into a charts like this, the Excel spreadsheets like this, and then I sort it out into a better looking spreadsheet like this that makes it easier for you to follow along, and we can look at prior weeks and then we can look at prior years to see where that trend is, because everyone wants to know if that bubble's about to burst. That's why this show is called Bubble Watch, and already I'm in season 3 of this show. Okay, so what I do is I'm going to go into the back end of my MLS like this, and what I'm looking at all different types of things. Like, we're going to be looking at what's sold, look what's active under contract, what went pending, look at new homes sold. All that data is right here in the back end. Once I get all that out, then that's when I export it into that sheet, and then I'll put it into the spreadsheet that's easier for you to see. All right, but first, while all those numbers are going to crunch out and while we're sorting that out, let's take a look and see what those rates did this last week. All right, as we look at the rates here, we're at Mortgage News Daily site, and we're looking at these are the 30-year fixed conventional. All right, started off last week. Now, all the rates, we always start down here at the bottom here from last week. In this one particular case, we saw it was 7.02%. Over here in the middle is the arrows showing what they did during the week, whether they went up and down. We got more red arrows up than we do green arrows down. And then this column right here shows what it was last year, so you can compare, year over year. All right, as we look, we see these things went up, a couple of downs, but we ended up at 7.04. So while it was an increase, it was just a slight increase, but still, they wanted to get in the 7s, and we are in the 7s. Okay, FHA rates are generally a little bit less. So we see last week we left off at 6.3, and we see there we've got a mixture of arrows, mostly up instead of down, but in different directions at different times. The same format as the others. We ended up at 6.45, so there was a larger increase for the FHA rates, even though they are still lower. And VA rates usually follow along with the FHA pretty close. So we see last week we were at 6.32, and we ended up at 6.45 for this week. Well, those rates are being stubborn, okay? I mean, here we are, still at the 7s for some of them. I mean, when's it going to break? That's why I do this show every week, so we can follow that trend and help you decide if you're looking to buy. All right, now let's get ready to put things into those Excel spreadsheets, and that's where I'm going to look at all this information. Now, if you're new to the show, buckle up, because there's going to be a lot of data I'm going to be throwing at you here to really help you in deciding what to do, whether buying or selling. And if you're a regular viewer and you're coming back, I've got some changes tonight in the way I'm going to be presenting some data. And in fact, I'm going to be showing now weekly average out of my MLS what the what the median square footage price and the median house price is. And I'm going to break it down by single family homes, townhomes, and condos. All right, so let's get to those Excel spreadsheets right now. All right, here we are in the back end of my Excel spreadsheets, and what you're going to look at, especially if you're new to the show, I'm going to quickly explain it. We're going to look at this yellow column right here, Season 3, Week 28. That's our current column. Okay, you see the other yellow columns? Those are the previous 2 weeks that you can see right here. Now, the white column directly next to it over here was last year's Week 28. YOY is the percentage of difference between the last year's. And SFH in the blue here, or Week 28, this is the current week where I take the single family homes out of the total and just show them individually. Over here, the rows will be as such, as you see here, active, sold, active under contract, pending, and so forth, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start off here at the top, this first row here, and this week with the active listings, and it's 9,793. So we see that is up a little bit from last week. Solds 425. Okay, so the solds recovered somewhat. 2 weeks ago they were in the 400s, dropped in the 300s last week, and now we're back up. Active under contract, 1111, okay, and that is down. Pending. Now the active under contract, well, let me explain. First of all, those are the ones that they're active listings under contract with contingencies. That means that they may need an inspection, an appraisal, financing, stuff like that. Once the contingencies have cleared, then they go into pending status, which there we see 307 of them went into pending status in the last 7 days. Okay, and these numbers here are all, like my sold numbers and everything, are from 7 days, 1 week. So that was in 1 week, as you can see there off to the side. Okay, all these here are 7 days, okay? Total under contract 1418, so that is down. Withdrawals are 66. Now withdrawals are active listings that just can't be shown. And the reason they're not being shown is because usually the customer does not want them sold. Not want them to be shown, in that maybe there's somebody sick in the house, they're working from home, can't be disturbed for a certain amount of days, or they're doing repairs. Expireds are different in that expireds, as we see here, were 182 for the week. Those are ones that did not sell and they are off market. The listing expired. New homes sold 112, so we see a jump from the last couple of weeks, okay, with new homes. New home active inventory, 2,294. Now this orange spot down here is where the percentage of homes sold that are new. So you see here it's 26.35% of homes sold were new construction. And I'm telling you, a lot of more people are looking at that new construction because there are some deals there right now. I mean, most of your new construction, if they're in communities, are going to have the HOA. Some people don't want those, but if you want a new house, all under warranty. Everything is new. It's easier to get insured. It's actually cheaper to get insured from people I have talked to that have gotten insurance. For a fact, their insurance is cheaper than some of these used homes, even if the used homes have everything fixed. And I'm telling you, if you are in the market for a new home, definitely get in touch with me before you talk to the sales rep. Once you talk to the sales rep, they got your information. I can't give you the deal that I give to new home buyers. And the deal I give you, the sales reps aren't going to give it to you. And how do I know? Because I ask them if they do, and they say they can't give you the same kind of deal that I give. Your price is going to be the same. You're not getting it cheaper. I know some of you may think you are, or it's just easier to go through it, but you are missing something if you don't speak with me first on it. But, you know, do what you want. That's okay if you want to go that route. I'm just telling you, give me a call first when you're looking to go out and look at new homes. All right. How did people pay for these homes? All right, we see right here, cash was over 1/4, okay, at 27.29%. So the cash has remained high. Conventional, 38%. Now, something about the cash deals, some people going cash. When you're dealing with these used homes, I've run into some that have problems with getting insurance. And they have to get things fixed before closing, and sometimes that ain't going to happen, so they end up going to a cash deal. Now, unless you're going with a rehab loan, and that gets into something else, and it sometimes can take a little longer and a few more steps to do it. And if you're interested in a rehab loan, I do have a great person, a loan officer that will handle rehab loans. All right, conventionals 38%, FHA 16, and VA 16. Others just about 1.5. And these numbers below are the units that sold it at. So 116 were cash deals, 162 conventional, 71 FHA, 70 VA, for a total of 425 sold. All right, when we take a look at these foreclosure numbers, now these are not the foreclosures total in Northeast Florida. These are the foreclosures, these are the ones that are statused as these in the active listings in the MLS. And I'm talking about, and this MLS is the Northeast Florida MLS, okay? So 156 foreclosures, 17 pre-foreclosures, 39 short sales, total of 212. So that is up from last week. And I know some people are happy to see that. All right, now we've got homes that sold under list, homes that sold at list, and homes that sold above list. All right, the homes that sold under list, 78% over that. Homes that sold at list, almost 12, and homes that sold above list, almost 10%. So that is a drop from last week. Those two are dropped. The ones that sold under list did go up from last week. Next, I look at the price categories, 500, 400, 300, 200, and below 200. So we see that almost 29% of the homes sold at 500,000 and above, just 16% in the 400s, over 22.5 in the 300s, and close behind were the ones in the 200s, okay? And then those that sold below 200, over 10.5%. Down again here is the numbers that show you that the total units sold for those categories. New construction homes that sold under list, almost 68%. Homes that sold at list dropped to 11, almost 11.5, and homes that sold above list, up there, I'm surprised, 20.54%. So, you know, that's higher than what I thought it would be, and it's actually, if we look back, it's higher than it's the highest it's been for a few months here, okay? Now, as I look back, you know, see, we can look back here, and boy, it hasn't been that high, geez, all the way back into week 5, okay? But notice, like this spreadsheet that goes back, this Excel sheet I got, it goes all the way back to when I started. The main log there goes all the way back to 2022, and it is available for download at if you want my newsletter. The weekly newsletter has this. It has other things to download, but it has this in there, and all you got to do is email me at this email, say you want to be on the newsletter, and I'll put you on it, and then you can download this same spreadsheet that I use in the show. Okay, now we're going to take a look at where I pull the condo information out, okay? Since the condos are a big problem in Florida, we haven't seen it here in North Florida like in other parts like Southwest Florida and Southeast Florida. But I just give you the numbers anyhow. So we look at it, and the format's pretty much the same. Now here you notice the week is different because I started the condos at a different time. So I didn't start them when I started the rest of the show. That's why this has a different week. So as you can see though, and the rows are the same, as they follow the others, and they're starting at the top, we've got 1,163, they're active listings, so that is up. The ones that sold, 27 sold, active under contract 85, pending 12, and 97 total under contract, and so on. And you know, total of 23 condos that are active, that are new. I don't know, this one, it keeps popping in and out, you know, so I don't know what the deal is, but none have sold, you know, none have sold. How do people pay for them? Okay, usually cash is way ahead of the conventional and everything else, but this time cash and conventional tied. FHA just had one, and it came in at, shows at 3.7% of the total. So below is the actual units sold, 13 cash, 13 conventional, 1 FHA. I also look at the foreclosures on those too, like I did the others, where we just pull out of the total that we looked at earlier. These are the condos we pulled out of that, and there were 12 foreclosures, 0 pre-foreclosures, 2 short sales, so they are up slightly also. We also look at the condos that sold under list, at list, and above list, and wow, practically all of them sold under list, none at list, and only 1 above list, okay, to bring us at that 3.7%. Now we look at the price categories, and still, I mean, man, those 500 and above, I mean, 1/4, okay, there. 400s and 300s, you know, tied. One's in the 200 range, okay, jumped up there to 37%, and the condos below 200 at 22%. And then, of course, the numbers for the actual units sold are down below. Again, nothing new with the new this week, so we move on. Now, because of the law that states for the condominiums, and it's coming up real soon here, 3 stories and above. Now, that's the complex 3 stories and above, not the actual unit. And the age, they're usually over 30 unless they're on the coast or like a waterway like St. Johns River. They could be 25 years, or if the county imposes that, they have to really allocate these funds. They have to build up this bank. of all this money, and this is where these high HOA and assessments are coming from right now, and it's driving some people out of their condos. You see assessments and fees like $800,000 or more a month. Okay, they've almost doubled in some cases, and the people just can't afford it. But it's to fund these repairs. Okay, so what I did was I was just looking to see how many, if there was a gravitation towards the 1 and 2 story condos, and I really haven't seen it. And we haven't had the big condo problem up here, so in Northeast Florida, so the people don't seem too concerned about it right now with what they're buying. Okay, because of the age requirement, I show that, and these are individual. So each row is an individual unit. So that first one was a 1-story unit that was built in 1974. The next one was built in 1985. It was a 1-story, 1998, a 1-story, 1995, and so on. I'll scroll it and you can pause it as you please. Okay, these are the counties where those condos were sold. Duval had 13, St. John's had 11, Flagler had 1, and Nassau had 2. Okay, this here is where I take, okay, you see the column that says original list price. That's what they started out. The list price column is what they lowered it to eventually, if they did. And then the close price is what it sold for. And over here, the last column is difference. And that's the difference in how much less they took off the original list price. So this first one you see was $110,000. Okay, I'll scroll this also, and you can pause it as you need to. All right, hey, if you like the way I present this with all these numbers in this Excel sheet where it's easy to follow along and the way I'm putting it all together, the show together, then give me a thumbs up. And if you want to be part of Bubba Watch Nation, then hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos when they come out. All right, now what I'm going to do is what is called, show you MLS Advantage. And what MLS Advantage does, it takes in account all these other MLS boards around here. Everything I've been showing you has been from the Northeast Florida MLS, which is the largest, but there's other boards. See, this is a 9-county area here in this Jacksonville metro. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you what all these other boards total up, what the total sales is. And that gives you a really big picture of what's going on up here in Northeast Florida. Now also what I do is I break those sales down by counties. So I'm going to show you in an Excel sheet what it goes by counties, because some people want to know where just what's going on in Clay County, St. John's, Duval, or Flagler, or so forth. So I break all that down for you too. So let's go to Excel Advantage right now. All right, here we are in the back end of the MLS Advantage site, and down here we look at the 9 counties: Baker, Bradford, Clay, Duval, Flagler, Nassau, St. John's, Union, and Putnam. So what I do next is I go over here and I hit the search engine, search button, all right. And that gives us 572 properties. Okay, when we put those all those numbers into the counties here, we look at this. We've got that 1 for Baker, 2 for Union, 4 for Bradford, 62 for Clay, 39 for Nassau, 209 for Duval, St. John's 166, Flagler 70, Putnam 19, for a total of 572. And again, we look at those numbers from the previous weeks. And then, of course, here we go again. Back there when those numbers were really low was around when those storms were coming through and all that. But, of course, I was told that's not the reason they went down. It was because the market was crashing in the Jacksonville metro area. Well, then how do you explain these other weeks? I'm just showing you the numbers, what they are. I pull it out. I gave a little bit of my opinion why I thought those numbers going, and then I got nailed for it, okay? But here's what the numbers are. I mean, here we're up again, okay? So, and we're going into the slow months right now, and we'll see what January brings about. Okay, now I go and I take the data and I break it down by showing you the median price, okay, and of the house purchase price, and then I show you the median price per square foot. I'm going to break that down again by single family homes, condos, and townhomes. Okay, I'm going to put that in a chart for you, and then I'm also going to show you what the homes that sold below list price, what the total amount of those were. Like you're going to see from the chart, I'm going to bring it all the way down, and you'll see what the selling price, what the original list price was, what they sold it for, what they ended up bringing it down to before they ended up selling it. And then also I'm going to show you how much difference they took less for that for that house and break it all down for you so you can follow along. All right, so let's get to that data right now. Okay, here we're going to take a look at those median sales prices and median price per square foot. All right, so we're starting this off. This week is the first week I do this because I've done, you know, I've taken out now the homes of the week. I'm going to show these, and then I'm going to show you something else, what's replaced the homes in the week right after this. Okay, so here we are, week 28, single family homes, the median sales price. And what's good is most of these numbers and charts come in monthlies, but with my show, you're going to see it weekly, what the fluctuation is. So here we are, single family homes. The median price came out to $400,000, and the median price per square foot. Now this is sold, okay, of sold units, $209. Okay, townhomes, and I break it down by townhomes and condos, which a lot of places don't break them down like this. The median sales price of a townhome was $269,990 and $187 a square foot, and the median price of the condos $275 and $198 a square foot. Okay, this here is what has pretty much replaced the homes of the week that I used to do. Okay, what I think this is going to give you more information and a bigger picture of what's going on. All right, as we can see over here in this first column, that is what it is, whether it's a single family, whether it's a townhouse, a condo, or a mobile home, whatever, or a manufactured home they call them now. Okay, here's the original list price. The list price is the one just like the others, was where they lowered it, if they did, what they lowered it, and then the closed price is what they ended up selling it for. And then over here, the difference, okay? So before I would pick out a house of the week, one that's sold below and above. Here I'm going to show you everything, okay? And then I'll scroll this, and you can look down and see. And then you can just pause it as you need to. You see there's quite a bit there below list price, but it's nice because this shows you how much below list they were selling for, all the units, okay, out of the chart. Now something I want to show you down here at the bottom, there's the ones that sold at list, okay. Now the data is only as good as the agent that puts it in, and sometimes people make mistakes, and I think that's what happened down here at the bottom too. As you can see, look at this here, townhouse, where it says it was original list was $205. That should have been $205,000, but it got put into the above column. So you're going to have a couple like this, okay, but it's not that much that really throws things off that bad. And then you see the bottom one down there, that one was probably $599,000 or $594,990 or something, and that should have been probably one that sold less, but that's what it is. But the price that they sold for is still the same over there, and the square footage, so that doesn't throw out the median price. It just threw off the ones that sold below list and above list. I am a licensed realtor here, like I had said, in the state of Florida. So if you're looking to buy or sell yourself, throw me in the mix, and I can help you. I actually, even though I'm located here in Northeast Florida, and that's where most of my business is, you're looking to buy somewhere else in the state, I can help you write up that contract. And you're going to want, a realtor with you, doing that. Now, what I'm also going to talk about is, some of the realtors, come on, folks, especially if you're selling a house, do you have a good realtor? I'm telling you, I've been running into some where I've got a buyer and they're not returning the calls, they're dragging it, this and that. Some of them, you got a $500,000 house, they got horrible pictures that they took with their cell phone, just everything. If you're a seller, really look at the big picture. And I tell you what, even if you've got looking at somebody else too right now, put me in the mix, and then just see what I have to say. We'll meet and we'll go from there. Hey, you know what? This is a lot. So this show here is in the can, and until next week, I'm out of here.